Hi, this is Matt Baker. This coming Monday is President's Day in the U.S., and therefore I thought it would be a good time to address the question, are all the U.S. presidents related? You see, back in 2009, a young girl by the name of BridgeAnne made the news for having discovered that every single U.S. president, except one, is the direct descendant of King John of England. Ever since then, whenever people come across this fact, they assume that something extraordinary must be at work. Some people even start wondering about whether there really are secret societies that control the world, or ancient bloodlines that continue to hold on to power. Well, here's the thing. The answer to the question, are all the US presidents related, is in fact yes.
Now that we know Vice President Dick Cheney and Senator Barack Obama are distant cousins, the New York Post decided to check into the genealogy of President Bush, and his family tree has people talking. Early Show national correspondent Tracy Smith has the story of George W. Bush's many relations.
My honor to bring to you the 41st president, a great dad, George H.W. Bush.
We all know his father, but what about his cousins? Check out this family tree, done with research by ancestry.com.
What would you say if I told you he's related to all of those people?
That you're wrong.
Oh, no, I'm not. Let me take you through this, branch by branch.
The 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault.
Vice President Dick Cheney, the man who's only a heartbeat away from the presidency, is actually a blood relation. He's President Bush's 9th cousin once removed. Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin and the 9th cousin of Brad Pitt. But we're only just getting started. President Lincoln was President Bush's 7th cousin 5 times removed, and Bush shared more than just a ballot with John Kerry. That's right, they're 9th cousins twice removed.
Really? What do you think of that?
Yeah, they have the same chin.
There's also royalty in the Bush bloodline. Princess Diana was Bush's 11th cousin twice removed. And then there's this bombshell.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Sure, she may have been singing to JFK, but what about GWB? He is, after all, her 9th cousin 3 times removed.
Maybe it's the eyebrows. I think
They have the same eyebrows?
He's also related to Playboy founder Hugh Hefner, even Pocahontas, and Vlad the Impaler.
To some, he was the very embodiment of evil, the psychopathic incarnation of the devil himself. He was known as Vlad the Impaler thanks to his favorite method of executing people. Today, though, we remember him as the real-life inspiration for Bram Stoker's infamous Prince of Darkness. In this week's Biographics, we discover the gruesome truth about the real Vlad Dracula. Vlad III Dracula, future Prince of Wallachia, was born in either November or December of 1431 in the northern Romanian state of Wallachia. His father, Vlad II, was to become ruler of Wallachia. In the year of his second son's birth, Vlad Sr. joined a knightly society known as the Order of the Dragon. Upon his induction, he was given the surname Dracul, which is a derivative of Drac, meaning dragon in ancient Romanian. However, in the modern Romanian language, this means devil. His son was given the name for son of Dracul, that being Dracula. The world that Vlad was born into, it was a violent one, consumed with disputes over territory and rulership. Family, name, and honor were the most important thing, something which was drummed into the boy from the start. He also understood that the goal was to push the boundaries of the empire, regardless of the cost.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And I say this many times, and I'll say it some more. Give me that lighter.
You got it, Fred.
Alex Jones, he's made some mistakes, and some big ones. But he's also actually exposed some real shit. And he owns up to the mistakes he's made. They're not good. He doesn't think they're good. there's a thing about finding conspiracies everywhere that's not good for your brain. I really believe this. I think that if you go looking for those things and that's all you look for, and you look for them all the time, you can get real paranoid and real crazy. And then there's also a bunch of people that are trying to stop you from doing that because you do expose some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know, he was talking about Epstein a long time ago.
I know.
A long time ago. He was saying there is a fucking island, and they take all these rich politicians and some celebrities, and they bang these kids. And I was like, come on. He was telling me this a long time ago. So he's also the one who told me about Bohemian Grove. Well, I actually watched it. I think this tape was actually made before I met him. So he went and snuck in to this place where like former presidents go. There's a photograph of it's Ronald Reagan with Herbert Walker Bush and a couple other people all standing around. And it's like these are the people that used to hang out at this place, and they would put on robes and they would worship an owl god.
They congregate and prepare themselves to properly thank their deity. Again, the 3,000-plus-year-old Moloch. The occult activities are coming up. And then after the actual ritual, we're going to give you some more of the history surrounding it. But first off, I wanted to draw your attention to the program that was given out to the spectators or the viewers. I guess an occultist would call them novices who actually watched as the priest and their supporters engaged in this ancient rite. Now, you're looking at a little demon called PJ that was on the front of the actual program. It's kind of an Hieronymus Bosch style. He's got a little broom and a dustpan, and he's sweeping something up. Now, even more shocking is the figure of a human body burning in the flames. In fact, I've shown it to people that are experts in anatomy, to actual doctors, and they say that the anatomical size is that of a baby or small child. Notice how large the cranium is in comparison to the torso, that is the ribs. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is from the program itself given out to the establishment lackeys witnessing these sinister activities. Remember, in Babylon and Tyre, they would throw their children into fiery pits. Look at the size of the hands compared to the rest of the body. Only children show these anatomical details. Now, of course, it's been airbrushed in, but it shows the psychology.
One last question. I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you, oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, hey, I don't run around in the woods naked. What did that mean? Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, I didn't run around naked like they do.
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Humorists like Mark Katz, a former Clinton speechwriter, can't resist.
It raises the question about, if what's wrong with our political process is congenital, and perhaps one day it can be cured at birth.
Prince Charles regularly talks up his direct bloodline with the country's most famous anti-hero. That's right. Vlad the Impaler, renowned for the bloodthirsty treatment of his enemies and thought to be the inspiration behind Bram Stoker's Dracula, is apparently the Prince of Wales's 16 times removed grandfather.